I now introduce to you our guest of honor for today, Dr. M.H. Mehta. Dr. M.H. Mehta is presently the chairman of Gujarat Life Sciences, president, the Science Ashram, and Indian Association of IT in Agriculture. Dr. Mehta has worked at the Bhabha Atomic Research Centre as senior scientist and later at GSFC Limited as executive director. In the year 2000, he was invited to take over as the Vice Chancellor, Gujarat Agricultural University. He has been awarded the Hindustan Lever Most Outstanding Chemical Engineer Award in 1985. He has been awarded by the Indian Science Congress for excellent contribution in agricultural sciences 2002. He is the author of a book, Profitably Preventing Pollution, which has now become internationally famous. Dr. Mehta has been advisor, World Bank, India Enviro Program and Planning Commission Steering Committee. He is the chairman, National Committee for Agricultural Technologies, NRDC, president of the National BioShield Society. Dr. Mehta has been awarded the Padma Shri by the President of India in the year 2011 and awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award by Agriculture Today for contribution in agriculture and environment. I invite Dr. Mehta to address this audience and to declare the seminar and exhibition open. Sir.
Thank you so much, Mandira. Dear students, Tejalben, Shri Patel, Shri Shah, Shri Provost, Mr. Singh, Dr. Thakur, and the entire enthusiastic Navrachana family. Greetings. It feels so good to be here, and I must thank you all for two major reasons. One is to make me remember my good golden days as one of the scientists at Bhabha Atomic Research Centre in 70s. And another, this is in Navrachana, with which also I have had such a close relationship, Navrachana as well as with the Jyotis. So it feels really great to be here. Some years back, I would say I have had the association, formal association with atomic energy or Bhabha Atomic Research Centre in my 70s, soon after I came back from USA, and in a very most remarkable administrative procedure, which you cannot think of in Government of India, I was given an appointment letter in USA with the heading, whenever you come back, there will be a position waiting for you to join Bhabha Atomic Research Centre. Now this is something quite unheard of in a regular government system, but that's how the atomic energy started in the most unique manner. The historical letter which Dr. Homi Bhabha wrote, first to Dorabji Tata Trust and then to Jawaharlal Nehru, is a matter of big history for this country. He wrote that there is a vision for the coming age of atomic energy and nuclear power, and we must start preparing right away. And for this, we must create a special Department of Atomic Energy. Both the Dorabji Tata Trust and Jawaharlal Nehru took a unique step inviting Dr. Bhabha. And that's how, in a small way, in a small garage-like place, the atomic energy establishment was born. We had a colleague here, and I don't know many of you, or senior colleague here, one Mr. Gami, who later on went on to become the managing director of Gujarat State Fertilizer Company, but he was one of the first to lead the heavy water program in atomic energy. And he used to tell me what was the situation like in atomic energy when it started. He said, we were 4 scientists, there was 1 table and 2 chairs. So we had to start from home, whether you lived in Borivali or you lived in Santa Cruz. You would start early because if you are late, then the 2 chairs will be occupied and the other 2 who come late have to sit on the table. This is the way the big vision and big program of atomic energy started. Both Homi Bhabha and later on his Guru Bhai, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, had a very favorite word, and that word was quantum jump. What was this quantum jump about? When you became independent, there were more problems than ever the solution that you can think of. And some of these forefathers realized that one of the biggest way if India has to jump will be through science and technology. And that's why both of them often use the word giving a quantum jump, not getting bogged down with day-to-day problems, though they are also to be attended. But like Einstein always said, that for solving today's problem, you need tomorrow's technology. And both these visionaries often talked about taking a quantum jump through science and technology. And the establishment of Department of Atomic Energy was the first golden chapter in the history of India. As you know, when the entire business of power generation started, Bhabha used one very nice sentence, and that is even, I think, the main point which Mr. Patel and Mr. Shah must be often using today. No power is more costly than no power. This is what Bhabha wrote. No power is more costly than no power. That means the cost of not developing, cost of not generating energy is several times higher if you miss the bus. And that bus we didn't want to miss, we wanted to jump. And this country had that potential, had the realization, had the resource, had the manpower who could be trained and put into the club of the higher up. And see what has happened in the last 30 years. We did have the quantum jump. The second thing which happened when atomic energy establishment was formed, when Bhabha Atomic Research Centre came into being, a great deal of spin-off, whole new technology revolution very silently came into the country. Kabir has said, Ek sadhe sab sadhe. Whenever you are planning your research career or technical or technology-based career or even any other career, I think this is something worth remembering what Kabir has said. Ek sadhe sab sadhe. If you master one, the chances are that you can achieve so many other things. This is exactly what has happened in the history of atomic energy. The focus was on the power generation in the system of the reactor designs, the improved use of uranium and others, and hopefully in the future with thorium. But as the Center of Excellence was established, the spin-off started coming. Today, the fruits, good fruits of atomic energy are seen everywhere. In health sector, when you talk about cancer treatment, or you're talking about the irradiation of the caps, like a company has come up near Vadodara. Or if you're talking about agriculture, Sarabhai and Dr. Swaminathan set up a nuclear energy or nuclear agriculture system lab in Delhi, in IARI, to see all the applications of the radioisotopes. And then you have the whole new line of seawater desalination came up as a part of the dual-purpose power plant system. I feel very proud about that because, like I was telling Mr. Patel, I led a team which established the first seawater desalination pilot plant at Trombay in 70s. And I remember the excitement that we had. Everybody said the seawater desalination, even if through the low-cost downstream power generated from the nuclear energy will be costly, it so happened that it proved that over and over it will ultimately be catching up. And today we have a seawater desalination plant at Kalpakam. We have in another 2 units which will be coming, and more or less I believe it would be also coming up when the new plant comes up in Gujarat. So the water power combination thought of. When we reached this stage about 250 megawatt, Tarapur and other places, Dr. Sarabhai started thinking about the next big quantum jump. And that's where our team started with the nuclear powered agro-industrial complex, which should be set up somewhere in the Kutch Saurashtra area and one in the UP area. It didn't happen in the way that it was. It was actually with the high power, but combining it with so many other industries and so on. But the dream is going to be realized in one way or other. And that is about the good news. In the sometime back, the Scientific American carried out a very detailed survey involving some of the Nobel laureates. What would be the 6 major events which will change the world? 6 major developments that can change the world. Okay, it was the human genetics, where even the cloning of the human being would be one. But came up in one of the top one was the fusion energy through the nuclear development. That can change the world totally. And in a way, that is the closest hint which you are taking from the nature. Everybody talks now when you talk about environment-friendly, when being more friendly to the environment, and the hint which you can take from the sun god. The fusion energy which is continuously taking place and which is giving you the solar energy can still be reproduced. I think there has been a great many multinational scientist efforts which is going on now with the first major plant in France, which is involving our scientists at Plasma Research Institute in Gandhinagar, producing a temperature which is several million degrees centigrade inside your fusion reactor. And it is predicted that in another 20 years, this would be a very major impact in our future. But we often talk about the public perception. Atomic energy has woken up a bit late. They should have started this exercise about the public perception quite some time back. We have been talking about it. We had a very funny incident. I was traveling with Dr. Chidambaram, the ex-chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission and now the principal scientific advisor. We were somewhere in Kerala for a BioShield program. And I'll tell you about a BioShield program. The whole idea was having several layers of different plants which will protect an establishment. We had set up actually in Kalpakam. Soon after the tsunami, we lost almost 40 scientists. And it was a very heartbreaking thing. And so I was invited to give some talk a few months after that, and I was saying, when I said that if we had a bioshield, probably all these lives practically could have been saved. And my friend Dr. Kakodkar was in the audience, and he said, here is the money, you set up. So he asked our NGO and several others to set up a bioshield plan in Kalpakam. I think you should go and see it, because when people like Dr. Chidambaram and Dr. Kalam visited, they said bioshield now should be an integral part for all the atomic power stations, and for that matter even thermal power stations. It should be not only a buffer, but even a very environment friendly thing. And so when we are talking about the bioshield program, somewhere in Kerala, a funny thing happened. Naturally, when they see the Chief of Atomic Energy, there is a big press conference. There was also a lot of international media. There were, of course, all the local newspapers. And in the press conference, which lasted 1 hour, which was supposed to be on bioshield, there was only one question about bioshield, which I answered within 2 minutes. For the rest 58 minutes, Dr. Chidambaram had a hard time answering what the hell is going wrong in Kudamkulam. Now, both the things had nothing to do, but that's the perception of media, perception of people. When it comes to atomic energy, they say all the perils, all the problems, whether it is Kudamkulam, it is Mithivedi, or it is Tarapur. Have we really looked into more logically? There is a beautiful book written by Lovelock about the revenge of Gaia. Gaia is the concept about Mother Earth in Greek. In Greek, what we call Dharti Mata, the Greek call it Gaia. And Lovelock has made a beautiful analysis, but one of the things which you must see in this book is per megawatt power generation, the amount of accidents in thermal power, or even for that matter, even in hydropower, is several hundred times more than through nuclear power. Not many realize this. 700 was the figure for thermal power stations. 94 was the figure for hydro, because hydro is very good, clean, nice energy, but when the dam breaks, there are villages which get swept away, and the kind of lives that you lose are tremendous. Plus, it is on such a mega scale to generate much lower amount. And compare that 700 for thermal with nuclear power as 8. The 8 lives lost as against 700 for the kind of giga megawatt generation of the electricity. Now this is an eye-opener, and we must all see that. I would like to end up by, first of all, congratulating you all, but also by quoting what Madame Curie said many decades ago. You know, she discovered radioactivity, and she was working on radioactivity, and somebody asked, "This is dangerous. Are you not afraid?" And she said something which I often quote, that nothing to be afraid in the world, only to be understood. And I think this is the message which we must convey. We are capable. You know, a public perception can be moved with sentiments in no time. You put half a dozen photographs of Hiroshima, and everybody would start telling you atomic energy is bad. I don't think we have alternative. I think we must have a very strong and unambiguous desire to develop through this clean and efficient way of generating electricity and take a quantum jump for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That was Dr. M.H. Mehta, our guest of honor for today's seminar.